Something deeply disturbing has come to light inside one of Britain's most secure prisons. Just days after triple child killer Axel Rudakubana launched a brutal attack on a prison officer using scalding water, a shocking twist has emerged, one that raises serious concerns about how the UK manages its most dangerous inmates. What really happened behind the gates of HMP Belmarsh may point to a deeper systemic failure. Let's break it all down. But first, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth UK news and investigations. The violent assault by Axel Rudakubana, convicted of the calculated murder of 3 young girls, has already horrified the public. But now, a major revelation adds a new layer of outrage. It turns out that just weeks before the attack, Rudakubana's security status inside HMP Belmarsh was quietly downgraded. This wasn't a minor adjustment. Rudakubana, just 18 years old, had been under 24/7 monitoring in the prison's healthcare unit, a level of supervision typically reserved for those at high risk of self-harm or suicide. Staff were expected to conduct regular checks and maintain close observation. But about 2 weeks before the incident, that constant watch was downgraded. Rudakubana was shifted to a staggered monitoring system, meaning less frequent and unpredictable checks. That change may have given him the exact opportunity he needed to plan and carry out his calculated attack. This wasn't a moment of blind rage. It was a deliberate assault. Rudakubana used a kettle to heat up water and threw it through the hatch of his cell door, severely burning the officer. The victim was rushed to Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Woolwich and is expected to recover, but the damage, both physical and institutional, is done. The backlash has been swift and fierce. Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick condemned the downgrade, calling it a major failure in prison security. He also questioned why high-risk inmates like Rudakubana are allowed items such as kettles in their cells, stating the right of our prison officers to do their jobs safely is infinitely more important than the right of these sick criminals to have a cup of tea. Mark Fairhurst, head of the Prison Officers Association, also criticized the decision, saying privileges like kettles should be reserved for low-risk prisoners, not those convicted of heinous crimes. Former prison governor Ian Aitchison echoed these concerns, noting that downgraded supervision often creates conditions where planned attacks become more likely. The most shocking part: Rudakubana has never been placed in the High Security Unit, HSU, a specialized section of Belmarsh for the most violent and volatile offenders. In the HSU, inmates have fewer privileges and tighter control. It's the kind of facility where someone like Rudakubana should arguably have been held all along. This revelation comes barely a month after another violent incident in the prison system. HMP, the Manchester Arena bomb plotter, carried out a similar attack, throwing boiling butter at guards and attacking them with a knife. He was immediately moved to the high security unit at Belmarsh. So the question stands, why wasn't Rudakubana? Here's a man sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 52 years for the cold-blooded murder of 3 children, and yet prison officials decided he didn't meet the criteria for the highest level of control. That's not just poor judgment. That's a crisis of oversight. The prison service issued a generic statement saying that violence will not be tolerated and that strongest punishments would follow. But for many, those words ring hollow. The attack already happened. It was preventable. And now, trust in the system has taken another hit. This scandal is far from over. It raises serious questions about how Britain handles its most dangerous inmates, and whether lessons are actually being learned from previous failures. So what are your thoughts on this situation? Do you believe the prison system failed? Should prisoners like Rudakubana have access to kettles or other potential weapons? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on stories that matter. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.